Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, I'm going to be taking a look at the brand new brawler Angelo. Again, I might actually absolutely butcher that name pronunciation, but we're going to be taking a look at all things Angelo then. So, to begin with, his range is actually really good. It is, I think, exactly the same as Piper's, if I'm correct. I lined it up like this. Look pretty much the same. In terms of his damage, he can deal up to 4,400 damage per shot, which is insane. That's nearly the same as a nanny shot. Also, the supercharge rate, it depends on how much damage you deal. So if you deal maximum damage, you can charge it in 2 shots. Also, with the super, it deals, I think, 1,000 every single time. Yeah, opponent is inside of it, which is decent, but opponents aren't really going to be inside of it too often. His HP is similar to brawlers like Kit at 6,000, so moderate HP. And then, of course, the super lasts 8 seconds. But the really strong thing I found about Angelo, it is absolutely insane, is when you fully charge up a shot, the poison actually deals the same amount of damage over time. So if you hit someone for 4.4k, that poison will stack up to 4.4k as well. Of course, nearly meaning 9,000 damage, which is just way too strong in my opinion. It just depends, because at close range, like, that's so easy to hit an 8.8k shot, but the projectile speed is kind of slow. I imagine that it can be kind of easy to navigate. I don't know, it actually looks kind of fast. We'll have to wait and see, but yeah, as I said, if you just kind of spamming out shots like this, you still do a lot of poison damage over time. So I think his super is pretty cool, but I don't think it's going to deal too much damage to opponents. We're taking a look at all of the gadgets, star powers, and giving you guys advice on what the best build should be for Angelo. So in terms of his gadget, Sting in Flight, it's just a jump and it deals damage for 660, but that is a big jump. That's the first time I've activated. I thought it was going to be like Eve's jump, but that is way bigger. If you take a look at that, that is a huge jump. You can make some good plays with that. I think that's just going to be really good overall for just evading. You know, say, for example, if Assassin like Edgar jumps on you, you can jump really far away. So, part of this gadget is going to be very strong. The second gadget is called Master Fletcher. So, what this gadget does, it enables you to shoot and pierce through environments and enemies, which is absolutely insane. So, you can actually just shoot through walls, which is really good. It's kind of like Mandy's cookie crumbs. That's essentially what it is, really. But for the amount of damage you deal with his shot, that's just going to be absolutely crazy. So again, another good gadget. Both of them are really versatile and have a lot of utility. So I think it's just going to depend on the scenario and the map and what is going to be meta after the update. So the first star power is called Empower. It heals you for 600 per second. Which actually equates to nearly 5,000 healing over time, which is actually, again, pretty good. If you're just going to sit in your super the whole game, it's going to be really hard for opponents to really get close to you because you deal so much damage with your poison. You're healing on top of that as well. I feel like it's going to be a very heavy hitting brawler. So now moving on to his second star power called Flow. So whenever you're on water and brief period afterwards, you get a 25% speed boost. So I thought this wasn't actually going to be that strong, but kind of just using it in game right now, he feels so fast. How are you going to hit this brawler with his speed boost? Of course, on maps like this, pretty much any map Eve is good on, Angelo's going to be really strong on as well. So this star power seems pretty busted in my opinion. Probably might get a nerf before it's even introduced. 25% is huge. So now going through what I think his best build is going to be upon release, which actually should be pretty soon because he's going to be released in early access. So I think it's around Thursday that it's going to be released. So again, make sure you're subscribed because I'll be pushing him probably to rank 35, especially if he's OP. He seems like he'll be pretty strong. But anyways, his best build overall then, I think it's just going to depend on the map and the scenario. I think Sting in Flight is probably going to be a little bit better if you play a lot of ladder because there's just so many hypercharges going on, right? So this is just going to be good to be evasive, and then probably on knockout bounty, this is going to be your better option in terms of swap powers. And after testing that one out, again, it's going to be map dependent, but Flow 100% when it's on a water map. That 25% increase is insane. And then of course Empower everywhere else, but it's actually a pretty decent star power. In terms of the gears, I think gadget charge gear will be essential to him because there's just so much utility with all of his gadgets. And then in terms of the other gear, I think it's going to be damage or shield, probably more so damage, because if you get the damage gear active with his 4.4k shot and the poison, you can pretty much one-shot every brawler in the game. Okay, so now we're going to be going through his best counters and the best matchups for Angelo overall. Again, he literally releases in a few days, so I think you guys are going to get the best advice when he drops straight away. But just from playing him a little bit, I was trying to play off my monitor there, but this is the first time I played against bots, so I think the big counter to him for sure, you've got to kind of take into consideration he's kind of like Pearl in a sense. It takes him a while to essentially heat up the damage, so any form of constant aggression is going to be a big pain to him. Or he's kind of like Hank in a way, like you have to charge up. So again, keeping up the aggression, making sure that he can't heal is going to be his biggest weakness. Somehow I'm missing all of these shots. Bots have weird movement patterns, alright? And yeah, I forgot to switch. What stop armor is? Oh no, I thought I was going to be healing automatically because I had I've got the fast one over water. Okay, it feels weird as well not healing while it's charging up. I've got to get used to it. Anyways, his best counters, so of course he's got the same range as Piper, so you got to look at similar brawlers that counter Piper to Angelo. So the first one is going to be Nani, of course. Nani is one of the only brawlers that outranges Piper. It will, of course, outrange Angelo as well. Oh, I can pop a gadget here and shoot through this wall. Okay. I mean, he's not really doing too well against bots so far. And that's kind of a big hint as to how strong he'll be, to be honest. Like, normally with really strong brawlers, I just run through them easily. I think Angelo's going to be a little bit harder to get used to, but let's see. We are getting absolutely destroyed by these bots, but I need to just place down my super anyway. It gives me additional damage to these guys, so if I can stay in it, maybe get this penny. Yeah, that should deal damage over time. Should be able to get Maisie as well. Beautiful. Again, like constant aggression. These guys are just keeping me pinned back. Brawlers like Meg, Leon are going to be really good at keeping Angelo back all of the time. I'm about to lose a 3v2 versus bots, aren't I? That should one-shot the penny. That should be able to get the Maisie. Oh, it's just awkward, isn't it? Like, constantly having to charge up. At first, it's kind of like Pearl. Like, everyone thought Pearl was going to be trash when people got used to it overall. So maybe it's just at our point where people get used to the charging mechanic and eventually learn how to play him. I think that will be the case. I don't think he'll be, like, broken straight away from what I'm kind of feeling. But, again, people get used to his mechanics. It only takes 2 shots to build up his super. So, I really think he can be a big damage dealer to a lot of these. So I'm going to lose against bots, but again, I just want to be raw about everything. Maybe Heist isn't his playground. It's pretty hard for him to keep up the consistent damage, but the best counters, again, it's going to be any form of aggression, Charlie and Buzz as well, and of course people that outrange him, but that's going to be his counters. Let's hop into his best matchup. Okay, so now moving into his best matchups overall, so you can take Angelo with brawlers like Piper and Nani, and whatever they're good against, you can kind of have the same feeling with him, except for like at least Piper with snappy sniping, at least she can actually deal with, you know, spawners. I think spawners are actually going to be a big problem to him. You know, I feel like Eve could actually be a good counter to him because those hatchlings are just going to eat up all of his ammo. Again, I really just think any type of map positioning is just going to be a nightmare for Angelo because he charges. You think like Hank, he can't heal up whatsoever because he has this charging mechanic. The same is going to go with this brawler as well. So I feel like it's going to be hard to balance Angelo naturally because of his mechanic, but we'll have to wait and see. Me personally, I don't think he's going to be that strong from just literally playing him now. I've not had too much playtime with him, but I think the other brawler, Melody, which again, if you want to see a sneak peek to, let me know in the comments section, but I think she will be a much better brawler overall. So anyways, you get actually more healing from that stop power when you've got Rust Street. That is good to know, but we've got to fully charge up here. It's just kind of painful, especially the mechanics, but again, you got to get used to it. So again, got to place my super down, get ready to fully charge up. What you could probably do, I need to test out, is whether you can charge up and then press your super down. That would be a really good combination, but yeah, we've got to wait till we get our super again. See what I mean? Like, I'm literally struggling against bots. I just can't see how this brawler is going to be that strong. Normally with just any brawler I use, I'm just walking all over bots. This is actually just pretty painful. So here we go. I'm going to charge my shot. And then, no, I can't press my super down. So that's good to know because I thought that could have been like some good tech. But that is not the case. So in terms of brawlers that you want to counter, sorry, I've just been waffling too much. Like Colt Brock, for example, on Heist, that's where you typically see like Piper come into play. Angelo's going to be a good counter to them. We've got Spike, Amber, and Lou. Those are going to be typically just any brawler that is in an open area. Angelo's going to be good against them because he can literally outrange them. So that is literally the maths behind a lot of counters in Brawl Stars, but that is literally the case right here. And again, just think of maps that Eve are good on, and Angelo's probably going to be good on anyways, because that's kind of the niche that Eve has. She's good on maps like out in the open, bridge too far, just any map with some water on, Angelo's going to be much better. So that's going to be it for today's video. So we're going to be ranking him as well. In my opinion, I haven't really got too many high hopes for him. I'm thinking C tier. C/B tier. I think once people probably learn how to play him a lot more, and get used to his weird mechanic. Maybe he'll be like an A tier brawler, but I don't really foresee him being like a broken brawler like Larry and Laurie. I'd be quite wrong because usually these brawlers are just insane on release, but yeah, I think pretty balanced, B/C tier. I think it's going to be pretty boring in comparison to Melody. So again, if you want to see a sneak peek, let me know in the comment section below. But that's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.